Hello guys, it's me, Bunny Rabbit Lives, and I hope y'all can hear me just fine, okay? I'm trying to start up my Switch so I can see y'all's chat. If y'all are talking to me, cause really I have no idea at the moment. Hello everybody, it's me, Bunny Rabbit Lives, and I am back. So today we are gonna be reading chapter 3 of what's it called? What is it called? The Last Unicorn. Hello, everybody. And okay, we are live. Okay, so it says right here, chat is connected. I hope it is. If it ain't, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have my Switch in a very questionable position right now. Scared it might fall, but hey, you know, as long as everything is okay, that's all that matters. Okay, so it's me. Sorry about last week, by the way. Whoa, what is that? Oh, that's my baby. Literally. Wait, let me see. I think she's asleep. She's not. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's because she's an adult now. Okay, so this is my second generation Tamagotchi. Her name is Mimi with a heart on it. And I love her. She's cute, she's fat. She's 30 grams. Or kg, whatever. I don't care. She looks like a bunny and I love her. Okay. Anyways, here we are. Oh, by the way, she has not died. My Tamagotchi has not died. She is in good hands. Everything is great. Okay. Anyways, I will now be reading to y'all. Okay. So this is chapter 3. Shmendrick came back a little before dawn, slipping between the cages as silently as water. Only the harpy made a sound. Hey, Jingwoo-san! Thank you for subscribing! How are you doing? Hi! Has your day been good? Thank you! Thank you, I really appreciate that. Hi, Cherry! Hello! Welcome! Are y'all ready? Hi! The Lemmies, did I get Cry by Parker Jack? I don't think I am playing music at the moment. I'm reading. But I hope y'all like fantasy stories. This is to help most of y'all have a relaxing time, or we can have a read along together. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Thank you so much, everybody. Did somebody send y'all? All right. See you soon, Jinwoo or Jinwoo. I hope I pronounced it right. Welcome back. How have y'all been? Oh my goodness. Hey. I'm glad I sent for y'all telepathically. I'm doing good. I am taking care of a Tamagotchi right now. Do you know what those are? They're like little virtual pets. And mine is a girl. Her name is Mimi. And with a heart at the end. I love her. She's alive. She's an adult. Yeah. And I've been playing games, but guys, I'm gonna make a TikTok because y'all are gonna be so surprised by the amount of unfinished games I have. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm switching from gaming streams to reading streams because that guys, y'all are gonna look at me crazy when y'all find out. I have an issue, okay? I have set limits. I will be getting better. I am a shopping addict. It has been confirmed. And also, I can't be shopping like I used to. It's crazy. I don't have that kind of luxury anymore. um, but yeah, like, what have y'all been up to recently? What are some hobbies that y'all have been into, or things that make y'all excited for the next day? I'm actually, you know where I'm streaming? I'm streaming in my closet. But yeah, it's been great. Recently, yes. As of late, I don't know. Yeah, past streams been having issues, so luckily things are looking better. And so, as my mom says, the only thing without a solution is death. All right, are y'all ready? I will start reading now. Feel free to chat with each other as needed or as liked. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not already, guys. And thank you for those who have. Really appreciate it. 1, 2, 3. Shmendrick came back a little before dawn, slipping between the cages as silently as the water. Only the harpy made a sound as he went by. I couldn't get away any sooner, he told the unicorn. Oh, maybe I should read that with a manlier voice. I couldn't get away any sooner, he told the unicorn. She's set Rakuch to watching me, and he hardly ever sleeps. But I asked him a riddle, and it always takes him all night to solve riddles. Next time, I'll tell him a joke and keep him busy for a week. The unicorn was gray and still. There is magic on me, she said. Why did you not tell me? I thought you knew, the magician answered gently. After all, didn't you wonder how it could be that they recognized you? Then he smiled, which made him look a little older. No, of course not. You never would wonder about that. Oh, that was him. No, of course not. You never would wonder about that. There has never been a spell on me before, the unicorn said. She shivered long and deep. There has never been a world in which I was not known. I know exactly how you feel, Shmendrick said eagerly. The unicorn looked at him out of dark, endless eyes, and he smiled nervously and looked at his hands. It's a rare man who is taken for what he truly is, he said. There is much misjudgment in the world. Now I knew you for a unicorn when I first saw you, and I know that I am your friend. Yet you take me for a clown, or a clod, or a betrayer, and so must I be if you see me so. The magic on you is only magic, and will vanish as soon as you are free. But the enchantment of error that you put on me must wear forever in your eyes. We are not always what we seem, and hardly ever what we dream. Still, I have read or heard it sung that unicorns, when time was young, could tell the difference twixt the two. The false shining and the true, the lips laugh and the heart rue. His quiet voice lifted as the sky grew lighter, and for a moment the unicorn could not hear the bars whining or the soft ringing of the harpy's wings. I think you're my friend, she said. Will you help me? If not you, no one, the magician answered. You are my last chance. One by one, the sad beasts of the midnight carnival came whimpering, sneezing, and shuddering awake. One had been dreaming of rocks and bugs and tender leaves, another of bounding through high, hot grass, a third of mud and blood, and one had dreamed of a hand scratching the lonely place behind its ears. Only the harpy had not slept, and now she sat staring into the sun without blinking. Shmendrick said, "If she frees herself first, we are lost." They heard Rakut's voice nearby. That voice always sounded nearby, calling, "Shmendrick! Hey, Shmendrick! I got it! It's a coffee pot, right?" The magician began to move slowly away. "Tonight," he muttered to the unicorn. "Trust me till dawn," and was gone with a flap and a scramble, seeming as before to leave part of himself behind. Rook opened Rook locked by the cage a moment later, all deadly economy. Hidden in her black wagon, Mommy Fortuna grumbled Ellie's song to herself. "Here is there, and high is low. All may be undone. What is true, no two men know. What is gone is gone." Soon a new catch of spectators began to come, sauntering up to see the show. Rook called them in, crying, "Creatures of the night!" like an iron parrot, and Shmendrick stood on a box and did tricks. The unicorn watched him with great interest and a growing uncertainty, not of his heart, but of his craft. He made an entire sow out of sow's ear, turned a sermon into a stone, a glass of water into a handful of water, a 5 of spades into a 12 of spades, and a rabbit into a goldfish that drowned. Each time he conjured up confusion, he glanced quickly at the unicorn with eyes that said, "Oh, but you know what I really did." Once he changed a dead rose into a seed. The unicorn liked that, even though it did turn out to be a radish seed. The show began again. Once more Rook led the crowd from one of Mommy Fortuna's poor fables to another. The dragon blazed. Cerberus howled for hell to come and help him. The satyr tempted women until they wept. They squinted and pointed at the manticores, yellow tusks and swollen sting, grew still at the thought of the Midgard serpent, and wondered at Arachn's new web, which was like a fisherman's net with a dripping moon in it. Each of them took it for a real web, but only the spider believed that it held the real moon. This time, Rook did not tell the story of King Phineas and the Argonauts. Indeed, he hurried his sightseers past the harpy's cage as quickly as he could, gabbling only her name and the meaning of it. The harpy smiled. Nobody saw her smile except the unicorn, and she wished that she had chanced to be looking somewhere else at the time. When they stood in front of her cage, gazing silently at her, the unicorn thought bitterly, "Their eyes are so sad. How much sadder would they be, I wonder, if the spell that disguises me dissolved and they were left staring at a common white mare? The witch is right. Not one would know me." But then a soft voice, rather like the voice of Shmendrick and the magician, said inside her, "But their eyes are so sad." And then Rook shrieked, "Behold, the very end!" And the black hanging slithered back to reveal Eli. Mumbling in the cold and the darkness, the unicorn felt the same helpless fear of growing old that set the crowd to flight. Even though she knew that it was only Mommy Fortuna in the cage, she thought, "The witch knows more than she knows she knows." Night came quickly, perhaps because the harpy hurried it on. The sun sank into dirty clouds like a stone into the sea, and with about as much chance of rising again. And there was no moon or any stars. Mommy Fortuna made her gliding rounds of the cages. The harpy did not move when she drew near, and that made the old woman stand and stare at her for a long time. Not yet, she muttered at last. Not yet. But her voice was weary and doubtful. She peered briefly at the unicorn, her eyes a stir of yellow in the greasy gloom. Well, one day more, she said in a crackling sigh, and turned away again. There was no sound in the carnival after she was gone. All the beasts were asleep, save the spider, who wove, and the harpy, who waited. Yet the night creaked tighter and tighter, until the unicorn expected it to split wide open, ripping a seam down the sky, to reveal more bars, she thought. Where's the magician? At last he came hurrying through the silence, spinning and dancing like a cat in the cold, stumbling over shadows. When he reached the unicorn's cage, he made a joyful bow to her and said proudly, Shmendrick is with you. In the cage nearest to hers, the unicorn heard the edge shivering of bronze. I think we have very little time, she said. Can you truly set me free? The tall man smiled, and even his pale, solemn fingers grew merry. I told you that the witch was made three. Ugh, sorry, guys. The tall man smiled, and even his pale, solemn fingers grew merry. I told you that the witch has made three great mistakes. Your capture was the last, and the taking of the harpy the second. Because you are both real, and Mommy Fortuna can no more make you hers than she can make the winter a day longer. But to take me for a mountebank like herself, that was the first and fatal folly. For I too am real. I am Shmendrick the magician, the last of the red-hot swamis, and I am older than I look. Where's the other? The unicorn asked. Shmendrick was pushing back his sleeves. Don't worry about Rook. I asked him another riddle, one that has no answer. He may never move again. He spoke three angled words and snapped his fingers. The cage disappeared. The unicorn found herself standing in a grove of trees, orange and lemon, pear and pomegranate, almond and acacia. With soft spring earth under her feet and the sky growing over her, her heart turned light as smoke, and she gathered up the strength of her body for a great bound into the sweet night. But she let the leap drift out of her, untaken, for she knew, although she could not see them, that the bars were still there. She was too old not to know. I'm sorry, Shmendrick said, somewhere in the dark. I would have liked it to be that spell that freed you. Now he sang something cold and low, and the strange trees blew away like dandelion down. This is a surer spell, he said. The bars are now as brittle as old cheese, which I crumble and scatter so. Then he gasped and snatched his hands away. Each long finger was dripping blood. Ooh. 1 second, guys, I gotta check on my baby. She's still good. Okay, I continue. I must have gotten the accent wrong, he said hoarsely. He hid his hands in his cloak and tried to make his voice light. It comes and goes. A scratching of flinty phrases this time, and Shmendrick's bloody hands flickering across the sky. Something gray and grinning, something like a bear, but bigger than a bear, something that chuckled muddily, came limping from somewhere, eager to crack the cage like a nut and picking out bits of the unicorn's flesh with its claws. Shmendrick ordered it back into the night, but it wouldn't go. The unicorn backed into a corner and lowered her head, but the harpy stirred softly in her cage, ringing, and the gray shape turned what must have been its head and saw her. It made a foggy, globbering sound of terror and was gone. The magician cursed and shivered. He said, I called him up one other time long ago. I couldn't handle him then either. Now we owe our lives to the harpy, and she may yet come to call for them before the sun rises. He stood silent, twisting his wounded fingers, waiting for the unicorn to speak. I'll try once more, he said, finally. Shall I try once more? The unicorn thought that she could still see the night boiling where the gray thing had been. Yes, she said. Guys, why am I shaped like a shrimp? I don't know. Working on posture as we read. Shmendrick took a deep breath, spat 3 times, and spoke words that sounded like bells ringing under the sea. He scattered a handful of powder over the spittle and smiled triumphantly as it puffed up in a single silent flash of green. When the light had faded, he said 3 more words. They were like the noise bees might make, buzzing on the moon. The cage began to grow smaller. The unicorn could not see the bars moving, but each time Shmendrick said, Ah, no! She had less room in which to stand. Already she could not turn around. The bars were drawing in, pitiless as the tide or the morning, and they would shear through her until they surrounded her heart, which they would keep a prisoner forever. She had not cried out when the creature Shmendrick had summoned came, grinning, toward her. But now she made a sound. It was small and despairing, but not yet yielding. Shmendrick stopped the bars, though she never knew how. If he spoke any magic, she had not heard it, but the cage stopped shrinking, a breath before the bars touched her body. She could feel them all the same, each one like a little cold wind, meowing with hunger. But they could not reach her. The magician's arms fell to his sides. I dare no more, he said heavily. The next time, I might not be able. His voice trailed miserably away, and his eyes were as defeated as his hands. The witch made no mistake in me, he said. Try again, the unicorn said. You're my friend. Try again. But Shmendrick, smiling bitterly, was fumbling through his pockets in search of something that clicked and clinked. I knew it would come to this, he muttered. I dreamed it differently, but I knew. He brought out a ring from which dangled several rusty keys. You deserve the services of a great wizard, he said to the unicorn, but I'm afraid you'll have to be glad of the aid of a second-rate pickpocket. Unicorns know not of need, or shame, or doubt, or debt, but morals, as you may have noticed, take what they can get. And Rook can only concentrate on one thing at a time. The unicorn was suddenly aware that every animal in the midnight carnival was awake, making no sound, but watching her. In the next cage, the harpy began to stamp slowly from one foot to the other. Hurry, the unicorn said. Hurry. Shmendrick was already fitting a key into the snickering lock. At his first attempt, which failed, the lock fell silent, but then when he tried another key, it cried out loudly. Ho ho, some magician, some magician. It had Mommy Fortuna's voice. Ah, turn blue, the magician mumbled, but the unicorn could feel him blushing. He twisted the key, and the lock snapped open with one last grunt of contempt. Shmendrick swung the cage door wide and said softly, "Step down, lady. You are free." The unicorn stepped lightly to the ground, and Shmendrick the magician drew back in sudden wonder. "Oh," he whispered. "It was different when there were bars between us. You look smaller, and not as... oh my." She was home in her forest, which was black and wet and ruined because she had been gone so long. Someone was calling to her from a long way off, but she was home, warming the trees and waking the grass. Then she heard Rook's voice, like a boat bottom gritting on pebbles. "Welcome back." "Okay, Shmendrick. I give up." "Why is the raven like a writing desk?" The unicorn moved away into deepest shadow, and Rook saw only the magician and the empty, dwindled cage. His hand jumped to his pocket and came away again. "Why, you thin thief," he said, grinning iron. "She'll string you on a barbed wire to make a necklace for the harpy." He turned then and headed straight for Mommy Fortuna's wagon. "Run," the magician said. He made a frantic, foolish, flying leap and landed on Rook's back, hugging the dark man, dumb and blind, with his long arms. They fell together, and Shmendrick scrambled up first, his knees nailing Rook's shoulders to the earth. "Barbed wire," he gasped. "You pile of stones, you waste, you desolation! I'll stuff you with misery till it comes out of your eyes. I'll change your heart into green grass, and all you love into a sheep. I'll turn you into a bad poet with dreams. I'll set all your toenails growing inward. You mess with me." Rook shook his head and sat up, hurling Shmendrick 10 feet away. "What are you talking about?" he chuckled. "You can't turn cream into butter." The magician was getting to his feet, but Rook pushed him back, down, and sat on him. "I never did like you," he said pleasantly. "You give yourself airs, and you're not very strong. Heavy as night." His hands closed on the magician's throat. The unicorn did not see. She was out at the farthest cage, where the manticore growled and whimpered and lay flat. She touched the point of her horn to the lock and was gone to the dragon's cage without looking back. One after another, she set them all free. The satyr, Cerberus, the Midgard serpent. Their enchantments vanished, and they felt their freedom, and they leaped and lumbered and slithered away into the night. Once more a lion, an ape, a snake, a crocodile, a joyous dog. None of them thanked the unicorn, and she did not watch them go. Only the spider paid no mind when the unicorn called softly to her through the open door. Arachne was busy with a web which looked to her as though the Milky Way had begun to fall like snow. The unicorn whispered, "Weaver, freedom is better. Freedom is better." But the spider fled, unhearing, up and down her iron loom. She never stopped for a moment, even when the unicorn cried, "It's really very attractive, Arachne, but it's not art." The new web drifted down the bars like snow. Then the wind began. The spiderweb blew across the unicorn's eyes and disappeared. The harpy had begun to beat her wings, calling her power in, as a crouching wave draws sand and water roaring down the beach. A bloodshot moon burst out of the clouds, and the unicorn saw her, swollen gold, her streaming hair kindling the cold, slow wings shaking the cage. The harpy was laughing. In the shadow of the unicorn's cage, Rook and Shmendrick were on their knees. The magician was clutching the heavy ring of keys, and Rook was rubbing his head and blinking. Their faces were blind with terror as they stared at the rising harpy, and they leaned together in the wind. It blew them against one another, and their bones rang. The unicorn began to walk toward the harpy's cage. Shmendrick the magician, tiny and pale, kept opening and closing his mouth at her, but she knew what he was shrieking, though she could not hear him. "She will kill you! She will kill you! Run, you fool, while she's still a prisoner! She will kill you if you set her free!" But the unicorn walked on, following the light of her horn, until she stood before Celiano, the Dark One. For an instant the icy wings hung silent in the air, like clouds, and the harpy's old yellow eyes sank into the unicorn's heart and drew her close. "I will kill you if you set me free," the eyes said. "Set me free." The unicorn lowered her head until her horn touched the lock of the harpy's cage. The door did not swing open, and the iron bars did not thaw into starlight. But the harpy lifted her wings, and the four sides of the cage fell slowly away and down, like the petals of some great flower waking at night. And out of the wreckage the harpy bloomed, terrible and free, screaming, her hair swinging like a sword. The moon withered and fled. The unicorn heard herself cry out, not in terror but in wonder. "Oh, you are like me!" She roared joyously to meet the harpy's stoop, and her horn leaped up into the wicked wind. The harpy struck once, missed, and swung away, her wings clanging and her breath warm and stinking. She burned overhead, and the unicorn saw herself reflected on the harpy's bronze breast, and felt the monster shining from her own body. So they circled one another like a double star, and under the shrunken sky there was nothing real but the two of them. The harpy laughed with delight, and her eyes turned the color of honey. The unicorn knew that she was going to strike again. The harpy folded her wings and fell like a star, not at the unicorn but beyond her, passing so close that a single feather drew blood from the unicorn's shoulder. Bright claws reaching for the heart of Mommy Fortuna, who was stretching out her own sharp hands as though to welcome the harpy home. "Not alone," the witch howled triumphantly at both of them. "You never could have freed yourselves alone. I held you." Then the harpy reached her, and she broke like a dead stick and fell. The harpy crouched on her body, hiding it from sight, and the bronze wings turned red. The unicorn turned away. Close by, she heard a child's voice telling her that she must run. She must run. It was the magician. His eyes were huge and empty, and his face, always too young, was collapsing into childhood as the unicorn looked at him. "No," she said. "Come with me." The harpy made a thick, happy sound that melted the magician's knees. But the unicorn said again, "Come with me," and together they walked away from the midnight carnival. The moon was gone, but to the magician's eyes, the unicorn was the moon, cold and white and very old, lighting his way to safety, or to madness. He followed her, never once looking back, even when he heard the desperate scrambling and skidding of heavy feet, the boom of bronze wings, and Rook's interrupted scream. "He ran," the unicorn said. "You must never run from anything immortal. It attracts their attention." Her voice was gentle and without pity. Oh, I think I should have read that different. Hold on, let me try again. "He ran," the unicorn said. "You must never run from anything immortal. It attracts their attention." Her voice was gentle and without pity. "Never run," she said. "Walk slowly and pretend to be thinking of something else. Sing a song, say a poem, do your tricks, but walk slowly, and she may not follow. Walk very slowly, magician." So they fled across the night together. step by step, the tall man in black and the horned white beast. The magician crept as close to the unicorn's light as he dared, for beyond it moved hungry shadows, and shadows of the sound that the harpy made as she destroyed the little there was to destroy of the midnight carnival. But another sound followed them along after these had faded, followed them into morning on a strange road, the tiny, dry sound of a spider weeping. Aww. So, I'm wondering if I should read chapter 4 because, honestly, strangely enough, I finished that faster than I thought I would. They are big chapters, but I did finish that pretty quick. I'm wondering, should I keep going? At least for chapter 4? Let me check, guys. Actually, I need to check my child right here. We're taking a break and intermission before we start chapter 4. So what did you guys think? I really like this chapter because it shows that the magician was actually like kind of helpful and nice to her when he saw that she was just like a unicorn. You know what I mean? And I like that the harpy got her, revenge for being captured by the Mommy Fortuna. Because, like, how are you gonna capture somebody and think that's okay? You know what I'm saying? How are you gonna capture somebody and think that they're not gonna wanna, like, bite your hand when they're free? That's what I think. But hold on, guys. I gotta, check on her. Honestly, let me check. Yeah, I finished that pretty quick. I'm gonna read the second one. Just give me a sec. I am gonna go get a bottled water, okay? Be right back. Okay, back in my little closet nook and cranny, guys. Let's stay hydrated. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. I wonder if the Wi-Fi is bad here. Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can. Anyways, after this intermission, we'll start on chapter 4 because it hasn't even been an hour, I think. So, yeah, let's read chapter 4 as well. Ready? I'm trying to find it because I just finished 3. 3 is one of my favorites for real. Like, the way it's so magical and the way that they help and protect each other, I think it's great. I haven't gotten very far in this book, but I hope that y'all are enjoying it. Honestly, I really want to finish Don't Let the Forest, and I really thought that book was really interesting. So if y'all have any recommendations that have the similar vibes to that book, I would really appreciate it. Honestly, I have a ton of books to read to y'all, so I will also not be buying any more books until I have finished at least 5 for y'all. And for me, like games in general, God, I'm making a video, so I can't talk about that right now, but okay. I have a ban, okay? After I finish 5 games, I can buy a new one. That's it. Finishito. No more. No more. We gotta be responsible. Frick. Don't judge me when you see the video, okay? Just laugh. It's okay. It's okay to laugh, okay? Gee. Are y'all ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Like a newborn child, the magician wept for a long time before he could speak. The poor old woman, he whispered at last. The unicorn said nothing, and Shmendrick raised his head and stared at her in a strange way. A grey morning rain was beginning to fall, and she shone through it like a dolphin. No, she said, answering his eyes. I can never regret. He was silent, crouched by the road in the rain, drawing his soaked cloak close around his body until he looked like a broken black umbrella. The unicorn waited, feeling the days of her life falling around her with the rain. I can't sorrow. Yo, mama! Yeah! Bunny Rabbit lives forever! Hey! I was about to start chapter 4! Oh my goodness! How have you been? Welcome back! Hi! Here, I'll wave. Hi! How have you been? I was talking about my restrictions to buying games and books. And also about my Tamagotchi. I have, you know what, where I really, there's like this bookstore that's really cool, but I can't go to it until I have finished streaming 5 books for y'all. Sorry, I've been putting up lots of tents today for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah! I used to love the Shamrock Shake, but I haven't had one in a while just because of all the stuff going on with McDonald's and stuff. You know, but I love the Shamrock stuff that comes out because it's green, and green is my favorite color. How is it looking? Is it like green themed for the St. Patrick stuff? Or is it like something different? Imagine getting married in March and you have like a green themed wedding. Like, I don't know. That'd be interesting to see. I've never seen something like that. Not that I personally want to do that, but it'd be nice to be invited to one. Ugh. All right. So, with that being said, I will now be starting chapter 4. Recap of chapter 3. The unicorn is trapped in the midnight circus. The harpy gets let loose and kills Mommy Fortuna, who had been trapping everybody in the midnight circus. And now we are on our way to safety with the unicorn and Shmendrick. Oh wait, what? It was for lots of places on the parade route. Then, when you set up a couple of big events for exclusive clients, I had to go. $2 million houses set stuff up. Started at 4 in the morning. Dang. You get paid good, right? That sounds like fun too. Setting up parties, like getting your friends together. Imagine that. Imagine like, yeah. I mean, that already exists. Obviously, you're doing it, but it sounds very fun. I mean, I can only imagine like setting up get-togethers to get friends who haven't seen each other for such a long time to see each other again. But yeah, let's start chapter 4. Like a newborn child in the Yipper. Like a newborn child, the magician wept for a long time before he could speak. The poor old woman, he whispered at last. The unicorn said nothing, and Shmendrick raised his head and stared at her in a strange way. A great morning rain was beginning to fall, and she shone through it like a dolphin. No, she said, answering his eyes. I can never regret. He was silent, crouched by the road in the rain, drawing his soaked cloak close around his body until he looked like a broken black umbrella. The unicorn waited, feeling the days of her life falling around her with the rain. I can sorrow, she offered gently, but it's not the same thing. When Shmendrick looked at her again, he had managed to pull his face together, but it was still struggling to escape from him. Where will you go now? He asked. Where were you going when she took you? I was looking for my people, the unicorn said. Have you seen them, magician? They are wild and sea white like me. Shmendrick shook his head gravely. I have never seen anyone like you. Not while I was awake. There were supposed to be a few unicorns left when I was a boy, but I knew only one man who had ever seen one. They are surely gone, lady. All but you. When you walk, you make an echo where they used to be. No, she said, for others have seen them. It gladdened her to hear that there had still been unicorns as recently as the magician's childhood. She said, a butterfly told me of the Red Bull, and the witch spoke of King Haggard. So I am going wherever they are to learn whatever they know. Can you tell me where Haggard is king? The magician's face almost got away, but he caught it and began to smile very slowly, as though his mouth had turned to iron. He bent it into the proper shape in time, but it was an iron smile. I can tell you a poem, he said, where all the hills are lean as knives, and nothing grows, not leaves nor lives. Where hearts are sour as boiled beer, Haggard is the ruler here. I will know when I get there then, she said, thinking that he was mocking her. Do you know any poems about the Red Bull? There are none, Shmendrick answered. He rose to his feet, pale and smiling. About King Haggard, I know only what I have heard, he said. He is an old man, stingy as late November, who rules over a barren country by the sea. Some say that the land was green and soft once, before Haggard came, but he touched it and withered, and it withered. There's a saying among farmers, when they look on a field lost to fire or locust, or the wind, as blighted as Haggard's heart, they say, also that there are no lights in his castle and no fires, and that he sends his men out to steal chickens and bed sheets and pies from window sills. The story has it that the last time King Haggard laughed, the unicorn stamped her foot. Shmendrick said, as for the Red Bull, I know less than I have heard, for I have heard too many tales and each argues with another. The bull is real. The bull is a ghost. The bull is Haggard himself when the sun goes down. The bull was in the land before Haggard, or it came with him, or it came to him. It protects him from raids and revolutions, and saves him the expense of arming his men. It keeps him a prisoner in his own castle. It is the devil to whom Haggard has sold his soul. It is the thing he sold his soul to possess. The bull belongs to Haggard. Haggard belongs to the bull. The unicorn felt a shiver of sureness spreading through her, widening from the center like a ripple. In her mind, the butterfly piped again. They passed down all the roads long ago, and the Red Bull ran close behind them and covered their footprints. She saw white forms blowing away in a bellowing wind, and yellow horns shaking. I will go there, she said. Magician, I owe you a boon, for you set me free. What would you have of me before I leave you? Shmendrick's long eyes were glinting like leaves in the sun. Take me with you. She moved away, cool and dancing, and she did not answer. The magician said, I might be useful. I know the way into Haggard's country, and the languages of the lands between here and there. The unicorn seemed very near to vanishing into the sticky mist, and Shmendrick hurried on. Besides, no wanderer was ever the worse for a wizard's company, even a unicorn. Remember the tale of the great wizard Nikos. Once in the woods he beheld a unicorn sleeping with his head in the lap of a giggling virgin, while three hunters advanced with drawn bows to slay him for his horn. Nikos had only a moment to act. With a word and a wave, he changed the unicorn to a handsome young man, who woke, and seeing the astonished bowmen gaping there, charged upon them and killed them all. His sword was of a twisted, tapering design, and he trampled the bodies when the men were dead. And the girl? The unicorn asked. Did he kill the girl too? No, he married her. He said she was only an aimless child, angry at her family, and that all she really needed was a good man, which he was, then and always, for even Nikos could never give him back to his first form. He died old and respected, of a surfeit of violets. Some say he never could get enough violets. There were no children. Oh, what the heck? It's fine. The story lodged itself somewhere in the unicorn's breath. The magician did him no service, but great ill, she said softly. How terrible it would be if all my people had been turned human by well-meaning wizards, exiled, trapped in burning houses. I would sooner find that the Red Bull had killed them all. Where are you going now? Shmendrick answered. Few will mean you anything but evil, and a friendly heart, however foolish, may be as welcome as water one day. Take me with you, for laughs, for luck, for the unknown. Take me with you. The rain faded as he spoke, the sky began to clear, and the wet grass glowed like the inside of a seashell. The unicorn looked away, searching through a fog of kings for one king, and through a snowy glitter of castles and places for one built on the shoulders of a bull. No one has ever traveled with me, she said. But then, no one ever caged me before, or took me for a white mare, or disguised me as myself. Many things seem determined to happen to me for the first time, and your company will surely not be the strangest of them, nor the last. So you may come with me if you'd like, though I wish you had asked me for some other reward. Shmendrick smiled sadly. I thought about it. He looked at his fingers, and the unicorn saw the half-moon marks where the bars had bitten him. But you could never have granted my true wish. There it is, the unicorn thought, feeling the first spidery touch of sorrow on the inside of her skin. That is how it will be to travel with a mortal, all the time. No, she replied, I cannot turn you into something you are not. No more than the witch could. I cannot turn you into a true magician. I didn't think so, Shmendrick said. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm not worrying about it, the unicorn said. A blue jay swooped low over them on that first day of their journey, said, Well, I'll be a squab under glass, and flapped straight home to tell his wife about it. She was sitting on the nest singing to their children in a dreary drone. Spiders and bugs, and beetles and crickets, slugs from the roses and ticks from the thickets, grasshoppers, snails, and a quail's egg or two. all to be regurgitated for you. Lullaby, lullaby, swindles and schemes. Flying's not near as much as fun as it seems. I saw a unicorn today, the blue jay said as he lit. You didn't see any supper, I notice, his wife replied coldly. I hate a man who talks with his mouth empty. Baby, a unicorn! The jay abandoned the casual air and hopped up and down on the branch. I haven't seen one of those since the time. You've never seen one, she said. This is me, remember? I know what you've seen in your life and what you haven't. The jay paid no attention. There was a strange-looking party in black with her, he rattled. They were going over Cat Mountain. I wonder if they were heading for Haggard's country. He cocked his head to the artistic angle that had first won his wife. What a vision for old Haggard's breakfast, he marveled. A unicorn coming to call, bold as you please, rat-tat-tat, on his small door. I'd give anything to see. I suppose the two of you didn't spend the whole day watching unicorns, his wife interrupted with a click of her beak. At least I understand that she used to be considered quite imaginative in matters of spare time, she advanced on him, her neck feathers ruffling. Honey, I haven't even seen her, the blue jay began, and his wife knew that he hadn't, and wouldn't dare, but she batted him one anyway. She was one woman who knew what to do with a slight moral edge. Guys, I'm gonna take a hydration break. Stay hydrated. Drink your water, tea, juice, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we continue. Nunu! Oh my god, welcome back! Oh, I missed you, dude. Welcome. Okay, I'll continue. Hey! The unicorn and the magician walked through the spring, over Soft Cat Mountain, and down into a violet valley where apple trees grew. Beyond the valley were low hills as fat and docile as sheep, lowering their heads to sniff at the unicorn in wonder as she moved among them. After these came the slower heights of summer, and the baked plains where the air hung shiny as candy. Together, she and Shmendrick forded rivers, scrambled up and down brambly banks and bluffs, and wandered in woods that reminded the unicorn of her home, though they could never resemble it, having known time. So has my forest now, she thought. But she told herself that it did not matter, that all would be as before when she returned. At night, while Shmendrick slept, the sleep of a hungry, footsore magician, the unicorn crouched awake, waiting to see the vast form of the Red Bull come charging out of the moon. At times she caught what she was sure was his smell, a dark, sly reek easing through the night, reaching out to find her. Then she would spring to her feet with a cold cry of readiness. Oh, sorry guys, that's my baby. She's asleep. Her name is Mimi, and she's a Tamagotchi. I need to turn the lights off for her. Yeah. Well, actually, this is chapter 4 now. So, oops. Yeah. We can talk about it after this chapter. I'll be finished pretty quickly, okay? Where was I? Then she would spring to her feet with a cold cry of readiness, only to find 2 or 3 deer gazing at her from a respectful distance. Deer love and envy unicorns. Once a buck in his second summer, prodded forward by his giggling friends, came quite close to her and mumbled without meeting her eyes, "You are very beautiful. You are just as beautiful as our mother said." The unicorn looked silently back at him, knowing that he expected no answer from her. The other deer snickered and whispered, "Go on, go on." Then the buck raised his head and cried out swiftly and joyously, "But I know someone more beautiful than you." He wheeled and dashed away in the moonlight, and his friends followed him. The unicorn lay down again. Now and then in their journey they came to a village, and there Shmendrick would introduce himself as a wandering wizard, offering, as he cried in the streets, "To sting for my supper, to bother you just a little bit, to trouble your sleep ever so slightly and pass on." Few were the towns where he was not invited to stable his beautiful white mare and stay the night. And before the children went to bed, he would perform in the market square by lantern light. He never actually attempted any greater magic than making dolls talk and turning soap into sweets. And even this trifling sorcery sometimes slipped from his hands. But the children liked him, and their parents were kindly with supper, and the summer evenings were light and soft. Ages after, the unicorn still remembered the strange chocolate stable smell, and Shmendrick's shadow dancing on walls and doors and chimneys in the leaping light. In the mornings, mhm, in the mornings they went to on their way, Shmendrick's pockets full of bread and cheese and oranges, and the unicorn pacing beside him, sea white in the sun, sea green in the dark of the trees. See you soon. His tricks were forgotten before he was out of sight, but his white mare troubled the nights of many a villager, and there were women who woke weeping from dreams of her. One evening they stopped in a plump, comfortable town, where even the beggars had double chins and the mice waddled. Shmendrick was immediately asked to dinner with the mayor and several of the rounder councilmen, and the unicorn, unrecognized as always, was turned loose in a pasture where the grass grew sweet as milk. Dinner was served out of doors at a table in the square, for the night was warm and the major was pleased to show off his guest. It was an excellent dinner. During the meal, Shmendrick told stories of his life as an errant enchanter, filling it with kings and dragons and noble ladies. He was not lying, merely organizing events more sensibly, and so his tales had a taste of truth even to the canny councilmen. Not only they, but all manner of folk passing in the street leaned forward to understand the nature of the spell that opened all locks, if properly applied. And there was not a one but lost a breath at the at the sight of the marks on the magician's fingers. "Souvenir of my encounter with a harpy," Shmendrick explained calmly. "They bite." "And were you never afraid?" a young girl wondered softly. The mayor made a shooing noise at her, but Shmendrick lit a cigar and smiled at her through the smoke. "Fear and hunger have kept me young," he replied. He looked around the circle of dozing, rumbling councilmen and winked widely at the girl. The mayor was not offended. "It's true," he said, caressing his dinner with linked fingers. "We do lead a good life here. Or, if we don't, I don't know anything about it. I sometimes think that a little fear, a little hunger, might be good for us, sharpen our souls, so to speak. That's why we always welcome strangers with tales to tell and songs to sing. They broaden our outlook, set us to looking inward." He yawned and stretched himself, gurgling. One of the councilmen suddenly remarked, "My word, look at the pasture." Heavy heads turned on nodding necks, and all saw the village cows and sheep and horses cluster at the far end of the field, staring at the magician's white mare, who was placidly cropping the cool grass. No animal made a noise. Even the pigs and geese were as silent as ghosts. A crow called once, far away, and his cry drifted through the sunset like a single cinder. "Remarkable," the mayor murmured. "Most remarkable." "Yes, isn't she?" the magician agreed. "If I were to tell you some of the offers I've had for her." "Interesting thing," said the council, who had spoken first, "is that they don't seem to be afraid of her. They have an air of awe, as though they were doing her some sort of reverence. They see what you have forgotten how to see." Shmendrick had drunk his share of red wine, and the young girl was staring at him with eyes both sweeter and shallower than the unicorn's eyes. He thumped his glass on the table and told the smiling mayor, "She's a rarer creature than you dare to dream. She's a myth, a memory, a will-o'-the-wisp. If you remembered, if you hungered." His voice was lost in a gust of hoofbeats and the clamor of children. A dozen horsemen, dressed in autumn rags, come galloping into the square, howling and laughing, scattering the townsfolk like marbles. They formed a line and clattered around the square, knocking over whatever came in their way and shrieking incomprehensible brags and challenges to no one in particular. One rider rose up in the saddle, bent his bow, and shot the weathercock off the church spire. "Welcome back!" Mother, father. To no one in particular. One rider rose up in his saddle, bent his bow, and shot the weathercock off the church spire. Another snatched up Shmendrick's hat, damned it on his own head, and rode on roaring. Some swung screaming children to their saddlebows, and others contented themselves with wineskins and sandwiches. Their eyes gleamed madly with the shaggy faces, and their laughter was like drums. The round major stood fast until he caught the eye of the rider's leader. Then he raised one eyebrow. The man snapped his fingers, and immediately the horses were still, and the ragged men as silent as the village animals before the unicorn. They put the children gently on the ground and gave back most of the wineskins. "Jack Jingley, if you please," the major said calmly. The leader of the horsemen dismounted and walked slowly toward the table where the councilmen and their guest had dined. He was a huge man, nearly 7 feet tall, and at every step he rang and jangled because of the rings and bells and bracelets that were sewn to his parched jerkin. "Evening, Evening, your honor," he said in a gruff chuckle. "Sure. Let's get the business over with," the major told him. "I don't see why you can't come riding in quietly, like civilized people." "Ah, the boys don't mean no harm, your honor," the giant grumbled good-naturedly. "Cooped up in the green wood all day, they need a little relaxin', a little catharsis, like. Well, to it, eh?" With a sigh, he took a wizened bag of coins from his waist and placed it in the major's open hand. "There you be, your honor," said Jack Jingley. "It ben't much, but we can't spare no more than that." The mayor poured the coins into his palm and pushed at them with a fat finger, grunting. "It certainly isn't much," he complained. "It isn't even as much as last month's take. And that was shriveled enough. You're a woeful lot of freebooters, you are." It's hard times, Jack Dingley answered sullenly. We bent to blame if travelers have no more gold than we. You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip, you know. I can, the major said. He scowled savagely and shook his fist at the giant outlaw. And if you're holding on to me, he shouted, if you're fathering your own pockets at my expense, I'll squeeze you, my friend. I'll squeeze you to a pulp and peel and let the wind take you. Be off now, and tell it to your tattered captain. Away, villains! As Jack Dingley turned away, muttering, Shmendrick cleared his throat and said hesitantly, I'll have my hat, if you don't mind. The giant stared at him, out of bloodshot buffalo eyes, saying nothing. My hat? Shmendrick requested in a firmer voice. One of your men took my hat, and it would be wise for him to return it. Wise, is it? Grunted Jack Dingley at last. And who be you, pray? That knows what a wisdom is. The wine was still leaping in Shmendrick's own eyes. I am Shmendrick the magician, and I make a bad enemy, he declared. I am older than I look, and less amiable. My hat? Jack Dingley regarded him a few moments longer. Then he walked back to his horse, stepped over it, and sat down in the saddle. He rode forward until he was hardly a beard's thickness from the waiting Shmendrick. Nah, then, he boomed. If you be a magician, do some that tricksy. Turn my nose green, fill my saddlebags with snow, disappear my beard. Show me some magic, or show me your heels. He pulled a rusty dagger from his belt and dangled it by the point, whistling maliciously. The magician is my guest, the major warned, but Shmendrick said solemnly, Very well. On your head be it, making sure with the edge of his eye that the young girl was watching him. He pointed at the scarecrow crew, grinning behind their leader, and said something that rhymed. Instantly, his black hat snatched itself from the fingers of the man who held it and floated slowly through the darkening air. Silent as an owl, two women fainted, and the major sat down. The outlaws cried out in children's voices. Down the length of the square sailed the black hat, as far as a horse throw, where it dipped low and scooped itself full of water. Then, almost invisible in the shadows, it came drifting back, apparently aiming straight for the unwashed head of Jack Dingley. He covered himself with his hands, muttering, Nah, call it off. And even his own men snickered in anticipation. Shmendrick smiled triumphantly and snapped his fingers to hasten the hat. But as it neared the outlaw leader, the hat's flight began to curve, gradually at first, and then much more sharply as it bent toward the councilman's table. The major had just time to lunge to his feet before the hat settled itself comfortably on his head. Shmendrick ducked in time, but a couple of the closer councilmen were slightly splattered. In the roar of laughter, varyingly voluntary, that went up, Jack Dingley leaned from his horse and swept up Shmendrick the magician, who was trying to dry the spluttering major with the tablecloth. I misdoubt you'll be asked for encores, the giant bellowed. Oh, my bad. I misdoubt you'll be asked for encores, the giant bellowed in his ear. You'd best come with us. He threw Shmendrick face down across his saddlebow and galloped away, followed by his shabby cohorts. Their snorts and bletches and guffaws lingered in the square long after the sound of hoofs had died away. Men came running to ask the major if they should pursue to rescue the magician, but he shook his wet head, saying, I hardly think it will be necessary. If our guest is the man he claims to be, he should be able to take care of himself quite well. And if he isn't, Why then, an impostor taking advantage of our hospitality has no claim on us for assistance. No, no, never mind about him. Creeks were running down his jowls to join the brooks of his neck and the river of his shirt front. But he turned his placid gaze towards the pasture, where the magician's white mare glimmered in the darkness. She was trotting back and forth before the fence, making no sound. The major said softly, I think it might be well to take good care of our departed friend's mount, since he evidently prized her so highly. He sent 2 men to the pasture with instructions to rope the mare and put her in the strongest stall of his own stable. But the men had not yet reached the pasture gate when the white mare jumped the fence and was gone into the night like a falling star. The 2 men stood where they were for a time, not heeding the major's commands to come back, and neither ever said, even to the other, why he stared after the magician's mare so long. But now and then, after that, they laughed with wonder in the middle of a very serious event, and so came to be considered frivolous sorts. Alright, guys, that was it. Chapter 3 and 4, guys. What did y'all think? I can't believe Shmendrick did that. He knows he's not like a real magician, you know? It was bound to go wrong. And like he looks so young too. Like, I don't know. Yes, chapter 4 done. So, about the Tamagotchi, I've had her for 2 weeks now, I think. Even more than that, actually. I think almost a month now. And I'm in my second generation. You know what I mean? I got, my boyfriend one too, and our first Tamagotchis were, a boy and a girl, and we were able to, like, get little babies. How was your throat? My throat, it kind of takes a toll a little bit on my throat, but you know what? It's, it's fine. I mean, my throat is now, like, not super dry. Yeah, like, I would say, like, about a month or two with my Tamagotchi, because, the first generation that I had lasted 8 days, and then they had babies, and this one is now an adult. And she's 4 days old, or 4 years old. She's now an adult. She's like a bunny looking one. I forgot the names of them, but I will leave it in the comments once I find out what it is. But I have 2 now. This is the second generation. So they had babies, and we got the babies. So I don't know why my screen is glitching. Is it only me or the YouTube kind of buffering? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if it's because actually I think it might be just you because it's not buffering on my end. And I have 2 playing so I can see your comments, and also on my screen so I can like stream for y'all. Can you hear me? Or am I actually buffering? Did I buffer a lot while I was chatting? I might replace my phone. I've been dropping it at work a lot, and the back is all cracked. Oh, are you serious? Let me see how much battery I have left. 57. We're good. We're good. Yeah. I was like, hell yeah. I think honestly, it might just be me buffering, like, because if I get too close to the camera, sometimes it buffers. Not right now though. That's crazy. You said you wanted to ask me something? But yeah, her name is Mimi with a little heart. But she's getting big. She's getting big. You're supposed to keep them at a certain weight. Mine is 30 kg. I don't know how much that is in pounds because we use pounds over here, but yeah. Oh, the games that I usually play with her is the Get Music, because that's the one that I'm best at. So, basically, the other ones, they're kind of hard for me, okay? So, Bump, you have to, like, press the button, like, twice, but you have to garner, like, a lot of power. Like, you have to hit it at the right time for it to, like, actually win, you know? And 6, 7. Oh my goodness. My Tamagotchi is hot pink and clear. It has a clear case and it's hot pink. Um the other one I got is black with stars and it has like yellow decorations around it and little stars with different colors. I have another Tamagotchi, but it's the Pix Party. But that one ran out of batteries, so it's in a tub somewhere in here in my closet where I am streaming. And then I haven't taken it out because I'm waiting for this one to like run out because, you know, why not? Yeah, Mimi with a heart. I've been writing amateur light novels since last year. Are you serious? That's so cool. Actually, I've been thinking about writing too for whatever reason, but I've tried it before. I just never get to finish the story because I'm so busy with a bunch of hobbies, right? Um, Wait, oh my god, I was gonna tell y'all. Did I Okay, so I was not able to post the other the stories that I went through while I was with my sister. I wonder if you are interested to give me a feedback by reading it. Um if I get a what's it called? A PO box. If I get a PO box, I will definitely let you know. But do you have a Discord? I think also I'm debating keeping the Discord actually because I hear like stuff is changing. They postponed it, right? But they're gonna start asking for IDs and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like why are they trying to like control everything on the internet? You know what I'm saying? I used to have a pink DS, but it's not like hot pink. My DS, the original that I had was like pearl pink, I think, and it was like the light pink color, but like matte, not shiny. And then I got the rose pearl or something like that later on, and that one is pink and glittery, but light pink, not hot pink. And after that, I don't think I got another pink one, but I wish, because you know what? Like I said, the accessories need to come back. The accessories, like the cute stuff. Why are y'all trying to minimalize things? Oh my gosh! Wait, it's a series? You're making like a book series? Oh, I wonder what it's like. So, do you mind giving us like a synopsis of what your book is about? Because I was thinking like if I write a story, I kind of want it to be like a horror story about like it starts off with people like camping and then like something terrible happens and then a monster like invades like their life and okay, so like okay, if I go into detail, I mean, I don't know. Because I haven't even started, but I think that I have so many ideas. I just don't have a way to like implement them, you know? Yeah, I have a Discord, yeah. You can still use Discord without using ID, but some features need ID to be used. Yeah, like if I get a what's it called? A PO box, I'll let you know. I'll send you a link to the Discord and then we can discuss it then. Oh, it's okay. Like there's like other ways, I guess, like on the YouTube comments, I guess, or something. I don't know. We will see, or like on the description, I guess, if I get one eventually. Um, we will see. Um, but so far, I can't afford a PO box. And I'm on a no buying ban, right? I'm in a buying ban because I have issues. But did I tell y'all about how I went and hung out with my mom and my sister with my little nieces? I thought kids would be heavier. They're like so tiny. They're like lighter than the dogs that I work with at work. I don't know why. I don't That's interesting because the dogs are smaller, but they're heavier than the nieces. So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how?" And also kids aren't bad. I think I used to say like, "Oh, I hate kids," but I really don't because, you know, they're actually okay. I just don't want my own. I'm fine looking after my nieces. That's all I need. I can't with loudness. Oh, wait. Oh, it doesn't let me take a capture of it. Oh no. Um, if the chat of the Discord, I mean, if the chat on the YouTube saves, I will definitely take your username. Yeah, I just for me, it's not likely gonna end well because I can't deal well with like what's that word? Loudness. Like I'm already struggling at work with like how loud it gets and I'm losing my hearing a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, do you have like a synopsis to it? Like what it's about but without spoiling anything? Okay. Um I will There's about fantasy world. Ooh, okay. Fantasy world. And it's a like I want someone to continue the story before I die. Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Why do you say it like that? you do you think you're gonna die young? Like I look, you can continue the story. You could finish it. You said stronger? I want someone to continue this stronger before I die. What? I think YouTube ate one of your comments. I don't want to let this story to be die with me. Um, it will not. You got this. You want me to like okay. Um, if I can eventually get a PO box, like I said, I will let you know on on your Discord if I am able to see it on the. Do you mind leaving it on a as a comment in like the video like of the live stream so that I can contact you once I am able to do that? Because I'm fine reading the story. I just if it's free, I guess I'll end up I don't know. Are you are you saying you want to gift it to me or are you saying like cuz I can yeah, I can't take it for free. At least if you don't want to continue the story, you can read it and give me a feedback. It is still not physical book. Still in MS Word format. See, the thing is, I don't have how would I be able to read that? Would you like email that to me? Or how does that work? because I've never done this before. I'm like, this is news for me. On Discord, I feel like if you send it on there, it would just like it would cost money because of the file size. But on email, I think maybe I'd be able to like see it. Mm, I will. If I add you on Discord, I will send you like a good email to send it to. I guess. I think. I think. I've started journaling again too. I don't know. Have y'all journaled? Also, you know what else? Not only that, but while we were there hanging out, my nieces and me, we had like it was really windy, right? So all my fries flew off and sorry. I want to hear the perspective feedback from narratives native speaker of English. Sorry, bunny. No, no, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm just like I don't know how we would go about this to make it happen. You know what I mean? Because I have never done this. Like I said, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm just like in thought about it. Like, how would this work? Like email, like and stuff like that. How do we do this? Yeah, yeah. From now on, I will be reading. Yeah, from now on, I will be reading. Doing reading streams because I've been spending too much on games. I'll show y'all a video. I'll make a short about it. It's so embarrassing, but yeah. Hopefully, like, I mean, if you were to describe what vibes it has, like, what kind of vibes do you think it has? What inspired you to write this book? So far, I've written more than 30 chapters. 30 chapters? Wait, are they big or are they small? 10 to 15 pages? You know what? If I accept this book eventually and it does get here soon, like how soon is it gonna get? Well, it's probably gonna get here fast through email, right? I mean, it has to, right? It's instantaneous. I mean, A5 paper. See, cause one of my friends, well, I don't know if we're friends. I don't think we are friends. She was really nice, and I was really nice back. She gave me like her favorite book, and I gave her some dice, and I gave her a book, and I gave like I don't know, but yeah, that book is thick as hell, and it's ooh. Also, I might be starting to curse a little more. I just feel like that is who I am right now. Spicy bunny. Synopsis: It is about a male and female that have been teleported to other dimension. Oh, is it like an isekai? Another dimension. And is it like how would you say? Is it political heavy? In that dimension, both female and female met their guardians, which are hybrid animals. That sounds so cool. I had a story like that when I was a kid that I thought about, but I never wrote it. I tried, but I left it too long and it started growing mold. Because in the old place that I used to live at, there were holes all over the walls, and the moisture would get in, and it was just bad. So I had to throw it away. In that dimension, there are normal animal, hybrid animals, and albino animals. That's so cool. Both hybrid and albino animals can speak to human and have powers with different skills and auras. Mhm. That really does sound interesting, though. Is there like a lot of like political stuff, or is it like mostly like the magic system that makes the story like that revolves around this story, or the characters, or in that dimension? There's a phenomenon that is called gray moon. Ooh, what happens in this gray moon? The objective for humans that have been teleported to that dimension is to stop the gray moon. Wait, so that is so interesting because my question is how will they stop the moon forever? Because it's a moon. You know what I'm saying? That sounds really interesting. See, when my head twitches like that, it's because my nose is shaking a little bit. That's why I called myself Bunny, guys. I have to touch it for it to stop. um, honestly, honestly, that's really cool. And you already have 30 plus chapters. When did you start writing this story? And like, what what gave you the inspiration or the idea to do that? Including the other hybrid animals with their terrifying skills. Terrifying skills. That sounds like there's gonna be good and bad guys. Interesting. I'm over here standing like a shrimp. I need to work on posture for real. Gray moon phenomenon only happens once every 1,500 years. And this is the first time it's gonna happen. So it's like time sensitive. Interesting. Very interesting. You should drink warm water, Bunny, so your throat and your nose can be better. See, so like my nose, right now, the weather outside is like really chilly. Like, let me tell you, we had a freeze here, and not even the freeze was this cold. Like, I'm literally like, what the heck? Why is it colder now than during the freeze? Like, what the heck? And not only that, but it's super there's like a lot of moisture in the air, and I feel like the moisture causes something in the environment that makes my allergies act up. But my nose recently, like right now, I'm inside the closet, and I think it's like literally water damage. I might be living in an apartment with water damage. You know? Oh, last year on September 28th? Hikikomori for 3 years. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're doing something productive. You're not really a hikikomori, you know? You're like writing books and, communicating in ways that you know you can. Like, you're trying your best. You got this, you know? Because I've started going out too. I just like that's why I can't buy any more games or any more books until I've streamed like 5 books for y'all. And that's why I implemented these buying bans, because I want to have enough gas to like go out and do stuff for free. Like, I don't know, I was visiting my family and stuff. Oh my god, I went right to my parents, right? And my little nieces saw my new Tamagotchi keychains. Because you know how they have the little mystery bags now for Tamagotchi? I told her the one I want, and she was like, "Can I have it?" And I was like, "No." And I pulled it away. I was, look, I'll buy her one next. I'll bring her one next time I see her. Both humans that have been teleported has anxiety disorders. The male have panic attack disorder, and the female has phobia of fire. That is very interesting. See, because me, I don't know. Like, I feel like panic attacks are different for everybody. From what I hear, some people like freeze. Some people get aggressive. Some people get like running away. Like, you know what I mean? And I didn't know what a panic attack was, but after I described it once, like something that I went through, they said it was a panic attack. I was like, I think I think maybe I have meltdowns because the environment is super loud, or there's too many people and I'm alone. Because I have a fear of being like attacked in public places. So that's also why I don't show my face, because I'm very afraid to become popular as a person, and to be perceived and hated and stuff like that. I wrote this story because I have been at home since COVID-19 and have anxiety too. I couldn't go outside more than 1 kilometers from my home. So the last job that I had back then was online job. Hey, look, as long as you're trying your best and you are like able to sustain yourself and stay alive and stay healthy, then you're doing good already, right? Baby steps, okay? Yeah, yeah, mystery bags, like blind bags. Um, they sell them at Barnes and Noble, which is like this mass production like bookstore that we have in the United States. I go to two different ones. I go to ones like near and far and everywhere. I like to like go out and do stuff. I just don't like doing it alone. So either I always go with my boyfriend, with my friends, with my mom, like, but my friends are really far away. So recently I've been going with my mom more often than not. Yeah, yeah. There's a Tamagotchi blind box. Oh, not box, but like blind bag. You didn't know they have like, okay, so they have the fun one with like little like Tamagotchis inside like little clear cases, and you know the little cases, they come in like, yes, I am Bunny. Yeah, I'm still streaming. Maybe it's the internet. Uh, am I still streaming? It says I am. I'm at 43 now. Oh, my bad. My bad. Hey, I am still streaming. I'm watching my Switch right here, and I can see myself streaming like smoothly. Hi. But as I was saying, yes, Tamagotchi mystery bags, and they come with like this little clear case that you, if you have a Tamagotchi original, it can work as a case for it. But it comes with like this little like figurine inside of it with this little Tamagotchi character wielding like a little flower, like a little watering can. And then also like the angel version of it, which you get like the little angel goatees in them. And then they also have the new ones, which are like the poopy ones, which they're like little Tamagotchi characters with like little poop stuff around them. I don't know. Hey, I'm not getting those. I like the cute ones. We are still talking about Tamagotchi. No, we were talking about your book too. I was just telling you I was just telling you that your book was great. Like it was a cool idea. I think some of your chats got eaten up too. Like you don't have to spoil the ending about the book, by the way. But that the whole idea of them trying to stop the moon every 1,500 years sounds crazy. Maybe yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But do you want to see the amount like okay, so wait, are you saying you want me to read the book by myself or do you want me to read the book on stream? Because I don't have a PC and my boyfriend's PC broke. You want me to read only the first chapter? How you said it's like 12 pages? Mm, okay, by myself is okay. Okay. Mm, okay. We can discuss it through Discord once I get your username, but remember to comment your username on after on the live stream after the live stream is finished. Not on the live chat, but like on the actual um live stream like unarchived stream. Ice cream. Why the heck am I thinking about ice cream right now? Bruh. Instead of saying ice stream, like ice stream, like yes, ice stream, but why am I thinking about ice cream? Oh my god. 10 to 15 of A5 papers. Okay. Um yeah, we I will message you on Discord and ask about it and then we can see. But really yeah. I have to get my little nieces a little well, both of them now, because I can't just buy one a keychain and not the other. I would feel mean. Like giving special treatment to one and not the other. That'd be mean. I don't want them to go through that because I went through that growing up and it sucked. Oh my goodness. If you are hungry if streaming talk about ice cream. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Honestly, I think my boyfriend's making mashed potatoes with bacon tonight. So I'm kind of excited to eat that after this. And yeah. But I mean, I really wish we were earning more for real. Not because I of the spending thing, like I really want to save and get like a tiny house or something. Hello, Clifton, how are you doing? Honestly, uh Clifton, you hello. Sadly, I am at 41%. So I will be ending stream, guys. Um I will try to stream twice, like cuz I'm thinking like I might stream like from 8 p.m. to 10 and then or like maybe more depending on how long the chats last and stuff because I like chatting with y'all, but also maybe in the morning like at 6 from 6 to like 8 or something because I'm thinking I might want to like read and like help y'all sleep, right? But I don't know. It's just a thought. It's not. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I might stream like just at 8 p.m. usually, like usual, getting back on track. But yeah. Good night, Clifton. Yes, guys, you will be able to watch this stream. It's not archived. It is unarchived, so Yes, and I will also be fixing my playlists because I noticed that they are kind of jumbled and not prepared right. So yeah, I will make sure that I fix that eventually. And so yes, thank you for stopping by, everybody. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Stay hydrated. Have a great day or night, and bye. Bye bye.